Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Two Cents, and welcome to this Harry Potter Harry Potter movie ranking video. I had to think about what I was doing for a minute there, but yeah, I'm gonna rank based on my opinion all the Harry Potter movies, all eight of them. I'm not including the um what you call it, the Fantastic Beasts movies. Those are I know they're in the same universe, but they're not. I don't consider them to be. They're not Harry Potter movies. These are just the eight original Harry Potter movies based off the seven original Harry Potter books. Now, a little bit of a caveat here before I get started. This will be a little bit different perspective for you that are watching because I didn't read all the Harry Potter books. I read the first one, The Sorcerer's Stone. So I'm coming at this from a little bit different standpoint because a lot of people that do these ranking videos, um, a lot of a lot of it is based on how well the movie's adapted from the book for most people, and that's fine. I understand that. But I'm going to be reviewing these just on as far as the movies themselves go, not on anything having to do with the books. Um, so I just wanted to throw that out there because my number one is a lot of people's least favorites that I've seen in certain, not everybody's, but in certain ranking videos. And then what everybody has seems to have number one or close to it. I have kind of middle of the road or towards the back end. So I just wanted to throw that out there that this is based purely on the movies, my entertainment value, how well I think they're put together, et cetera, et cetera. So as you can see, I'm ready to go. I'm wearing a cap that I got at Universal Studios actually several years ago in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter that I got um, the Deathly Hallows symbol there. So with that being said, also I should mention too that I love all eight of these movies. There's not one that's bad. There's not one that I wouldn't put on and watch anytime. So even what I have at number eight, number seven are movies that I absolutely love. But your ranking has to go some way at some point. So it's really just based on that. But with that being said, here I kind of want this to show, but I don't want I don't want my cap to go down over my eyes either. With that being said, let's just go ahead and get started. Now, I do have all these movies on Blu-ray, but I also have DVD, and the DVDs that I have the cases, which are going to be easier to go through with my ranking. I think there's only one movie I couldn't find the DVD case for that I'm using just the Blu-ray disc, and that's actually going to be the first movie. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. That's going to be the first movie, or number eight, I guess, from my least favorite to my. I hate even saying least favorite to favorite because, like I said, I love all these movies. There is no like. Well, I guess it is my least favorite, but again, I still love it more than most movies, and that is the one that I have on the disc, which is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the one book that I read. Yeah, this movie's great. What can you say? I mean, it successfully launched an entire franchise of movies successfully. Um, I love the Sorcerer's Stone. We're introduced to all of our characters, our mainstays throughout these movies. I really like Dumbledore's portrayal, played by Richard Harris, who unfortunately would only be able to play Dumbledore for the first two movies before he sadly passed away in real life, and then was replaced by Michael Gambon, who does a good job, but it's a different portrayal of Dumbledore. I certainly like him though. But we're introduced to our three main characters of Harry, Hermione, and Ron, of course. It's very young kids in this movie. And it's got a lot of charm to it. We're introduced to Hogwarts. We're introduced to all the magic and everything. As I said, I love this movie. There's seven movies that I like more. That's all. But yeah, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is going to be number eight. Coming in behind that's going to be number seven, and that's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Again, I love this movie very much like the Sorcerer's Stone, but I feel like this one goes just a little bit darker, a little bit more mature. Not as mature as the series would get yet, but a little bit more mature than the first movie. Um, a little darker for sure. Of course, we're introduced to Dobby here, or Dobby, depending on your however you like to pronounce it. But yeah, I don't know. I really like this movie. Again, Dumbledore's played by Richard Harris in this movie, does a great job. Um, the flying car, I love that whole sequence at the beginning. How Harry's sort of rescued from his step family at the beginning out of his bedroom window and going into the forest, forest with all the spiders and everything. That's extremely well done. Um, and then the writings on the wall, the ending scene where he runs into Tom Riddle and he has to kill the basilisk with the sword of Gryffindor. I don't know. I just This movie's just a step up from the Sorcerer's Stone. I really like the Chamber of Secrets. I really do. It's yeah, number 7 on my list. Um, Number 6 is going to be one of the later movies in the franchise, but it's still one that I like, and that's Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince. Um, Obviously, the best part about this movie is like the last 20 to 30 minutes, however long it is, when the shit really hits the fan at the end here. I really felt that last half hour. It was really like gut wrenching in a lot of ways. Um, and it's yeah, there's this is such an important film, obviously, in the franchise as they start collecting Horcruxes and destroying them and everything. And relationships are very big in this movie. Um, the reason it's a little bit lower though is there is a lot of dialogue, a lot of as I said, it's not until like the last half hour of the movie where a lot of a lot of stuff really happens. Otherwise, it's a lot of obviously Harry finds the book with different spells and writings from the Half Blood Prince. Who we at the end you find out who that is, which is a great reveal. Um, I'm trying to think what else happens in this movie. There's a lot with Drago Malfoy as far as his sort of turn or attempted turn to the dark side, if you will, or the Slytherin side. I mean, he's already a Slytherin, but you know what I mean. So I did like everything they did with that character, and I thought that who's the actor that plays? All of a sudden, it's escaping me. The actor that plays Drago Malfoy. Uh, oh shit. I can't think of his name. Okay, I gotta look this up. This is gonna bug me. I should know it, obviously, as much as I've seen these movies, but um, it is Tom Felton. Okay, I knew it was Tom. I couldn't think of the last name. I kept wanting to say Tom Riddle, but that's a character in the movie. Tom Felton. I think that this was probably his best movie in the franchise, and because it focuses a lot on Drago's, like I said, his turn and attempted to really go all the way turn to sort of the dark side of this world, if you will, the side with Voldemort. So I really liked him in this movie. There's a lot with him, some sparring with him and Harry that I enjoyed. I mean, again, I love this movie. It's just the reason that it's lower is because, like a lot of people say, it's more of a heavy driven dialogue movie with scenes like that, but still very enjoyable, still very well done, well acted. Although this is one of the movies you can tell that by his own admission, Daniel Radcliffe admits you can tell he was on the bottle a bit. I think more so in this movie than any of the other ones. Um, you can tell that the stress of playing this character was getting to him. It really shows the most in this movie, but I really still like this movie. Like I said, the ending is I think it's the most emotionally impacting part of this entire franchise, the last half hour of this movie, with the reveals and what happens. Of course, one of the main characters of this entire franchise meeting their demise and how that all comes to be. But yeah, Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince is going to be my number 6. Uh, Here's where I'm probably going to get a lot of hate because my number 5 is going to be what a lot of people have as their number 1. And again, I think it's based a lot on the books. And my number 5 is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Azkaban. A lot of people have this as their number 1, I've seen, and I have to believe it has to do with the books because as a movie, it's good. There's a lot of great stuff that happens in it with the time turner, and obviously Harry's uncle comes to be. Um, and that whole story, how it plays out, how he was framed, and everything. Um, The characters are great in this movie. Um, I'm just trying to think of this everything that stands out. I don't know. It just doesn't quite have as much impact for me as a movie as the top four do. But I still really enjoy this movie. I can understand why a lot of people love it. I don't really understand why it's number one, but I have to believe that if you've read all the books, that this one, I guess, from what I've heard anyway, might adapt the best from the book. Um, I don't know. I don't know. You can comment down below exactly if it's different for you, why you think or why you have this as your favorite Harry Potter film. The Dementors are great, of course. The look of them. Um, I don't know. Mischief managed. You got the Marauders map. There's a lot of good stuff in this movie. But like I said, it's not number one for me. But you can comment down below why it's number one for you or why you think other people have it number one, aside from the book adaptation, which is my guess why it's number one, but I might be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something in the movie. But number five, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, now we get into the top four. My number four is going to be Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part One. When I first saw this movie, I wasn't too sure about it because this is a character-driven movie. It really is. Of course, the Deathly Hallows is one book, but was broken into two movies, and for good reason because it's an extremely long book. That in order to flush out that entire story of the franchise, you have to. I don't see how you could have done it in one movie. It would have been like a Lord of the Rings movie, even longer, like 4 hours. Um, the more I watch this movie, though, the more times that I've watched this movie, the more I've liked it. It's so important in terms of the relationships, especially between these three characters, that really sets up well for the second movie. Of course, most people mention that nothing really happens in this movie. It's all saved up for part two. I disagree with that, though. I think you have to look beyond just the action scenes and the ultimate climax. I think you have to look at the fact that I really feel like the characters mature and their relationships really mature in this movie. Um, of course, they continue hunting down Horcruxes and or Horcruxes. I always pronounce that wrong. I think for most people, but um, I think what was different about it when I first watched it is the fact that it's not like the first five movies where it's a new school year, they go to Hogwarts and things ensue in that way. This is where the end of Half Blood Prince really changes everything in this franchise, in this story. So these three basically strike out on their own to try to hunt down these Horcruxes and find a way to destroy them. And relationships ensue, very emotional relationships. I don't know. I just really like this movie. The more times I watch it, I think this one's aged the best for me. So Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part One, my number four. And now we get into the top three, and this is where it really got tough. But my number three is going to be Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part Two, which I think is a really amazing closing chapter to this overall franchise and the overall story for Harry Potter because it's very difficult a lot of times to build up and then to be able to deliver the way that's going to satisfy the fans. And I think this movie does it about as well as they could. I do have a few issues with the movie that kind of keeps it out of the top two for me. Um, One of them has to do with the ease of how Bellatrix, who's such a built-up character in the previous three movies, how easily she reaches her demise, shall we say, and who does it. I really would have preferred that she would have been destroyed by Neville. I think that would have been a more fitting and full circle sort of climax to that storyline. Um, there's just some other small things too, but for the most part, I can't argue with how this whole thing concludes. They really do an awesome job. Very emotional, very gripping. Um, the last third of the movie. I mean, what can you say about it? It's the most action packed. All the stakes are, no character is safe. It's just fantastic. So Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part Two, my number three. Um, Number two for me is going to be Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, the fifth book, the fifth movie. Um, Oh man, I love this movie. I love it so much. We're introduced to one of the greatest uh, antagonists, and Dolores Umbridge in this movie, who's just brilliantly played by the actress. I forget her name, but that character and that whole storyline is just fantastic. Of course, you have the big showdown at the end with the with Voldemort's crew, the Death Eaters, as well as the um, what you call them. Why can't I think of the name just now? Shoot. I can't think of the name, but you know what I'm talking about. The big showdown, you get Voldemort versus Dumbledore at the end, which is fantastic. Harry's emotional journey. This is another one where you could tell Daniel Radcliffe was starting to lose it a little bit from a drinking standpoint. Um, this was really the first one where I think it showed up. But he does a great job in this movie because he really has to go to some dark places, and the Voldemort side of him sort of comes out more in this movie. I love the Order of the Phoenix. I just absolutely love this movie. So that's my number two. But number one for me is going to be what a lot of people have at the bottom of their list. And apparently the book doesn't translate as well, but that's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is one of my favorite movies of all time in any genre. I could watch this 24 hours on repeat, like a lot of people do with the Christmas Story on Christmas Day. This movie has it all for me. It's funny, it's dark, the ending is extremely dark and disturbing in a lot of ways. I want to see the lights of you. I want to see you lose the lights of your eyes, or however that line is at the end by Voldemort. I want to see the light go out of your eyes, which is just a really, man, that's mean. That's mean. Um, but I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this movie starts. Obviously you've got the Goblet of Fire, the competitions, all three of them are fantastic. Harry's journey. You've got the wonderful Wizard's Ball that happens, the dance, and the guys trying to ask out girls and get somebody to go with them. All that is great and it's fun. This movie has it all. This is the ultimate Harry Potter movie for me. I just love it from beginning to end. There's not one thing that I don't love about this movie. We're introduced to Mad Eye Moody, I should say. The fight he has with the dragon for the egg, um, where he takes it and listens to it underwater, and him and Ron have a falling out for a while. I don't know what else you could want from a Harry Potter movie. This is the best Harry Potter movie for me. In a lot of ways it's where the series kind of really turns, because the first three movies, a lot of important stuff happens, but it's still kind of more on the lighter side, the fun side. But the end of this movie really gets dark, and it needs to. And from that point on, the series gets darker and more mature, I think, more adult, if you want to say. So, anyway, that's my favorite, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. You can argue with me. Keep the hate comments to a minimum, though. As I said, this is just based on watching the movies without the books being in play. So I'm ranking this strictly on an entertainment standpoint, movie standpoint. So go ahead and comment down below any thoughts you guys have on my ranking, your thoughts on the Harry Potter franchise, your favorite books you could throw in as well. I tried to read the other books, but I just haven't had the time or the patience to sit down. I'm not as much of a reader as I am a watcher. That's just the reality of it. But with that being said, I would like to hear from other people down below on your thoughts. So that's my ranking for all 8 of the Harry Potter movies, though. Please like this video, hit the little notification bell, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do plan to get into other like movie franchise rankings, other reviews, TV series, things like that. I know I still have to continue with the original Twilight Zone individual episode reviews that I started last year and need to get back to. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this ranking video, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.